Hi, I'm Jake Carpenter, and this is my 2.4 elasticity video. So first, let's talk about the elasticity of demand. So the elasticity of demand measures how sensitive the quantity demanded of a good is to a change in price or another factor like income. So let's think of two products here. Let's think of gasoline and McDonald's. Well, we have fast food, so McDonald's for example. Gasoline is pretty inelastic because no matter the price, everyone's going to buy it who owns a car. However, McDonald's and fast food is elastic because if the price varies, people might not buy it. So now let's look at the two formulas of elasticity of demand. So we have the percent change in quantity demand over the percent change in price. Now this can be summed up to the plug and chug formula, which is simply taking the two quantities and two prices and subbing them into this formula here. So now let's talk about a real life problem here. So a car dealership sells 150 luxury sedans per month when the price is $40,000. When the price increases to $50,000, the demand drops to 100 sedans a month. So let's do the math here. We're going to plug in our numbers. 100 minus 150 divided by 150 times 100, and then negative 50 over 150 times 100 gives us negative 33.3% for our quantity demanded. So our quantity demanded decreases by 33.3%. Now we're going to talk about our price. Price increases by $10,000 here. So that is 25%. Now we're going to go the change in quantity over the change in price equals to negative 1.33. Now this sedan is elastic because it comes out to a negative number. Now let's look at a similar problem using the plug and chug method. So a coffee shop looks at the habits of customers. When they sold lattes for $4, 150 were sold in a day. When the price was raised to $4.50, only 120 were sold. So you have 120 minus 150 over 150, which gets us to negative 0.2. And then 4.5 minus 4 divided by 4 gets us to 0.125. Now if we divide those numbers together, we get negative 1.6. Now, like the last problem, it is negative, so it is also elastic. So now we're going to talk about the cross-price elasticity of demand, which basically determines if products are complements or substitutes to each other. So for substitutes here, we have t-shirts and long sleeve shirts, and for complements, we have donuts and coffee. So let's look at another real life example here. So a coffee shop owner increases the price of premium coffee to $5 to $6. The price caused the demand for tea to go from 1,000 cups to 1,200 cups a week. So when the price of coffee increases, the demand for tea also increases. So if we do our math here, 18.18% change in quantity demand, 18.18% in price. Now if we divide those two, we get 1. They're perfect substitutes for each other. Okay, so overall cross-price elasticity of demand shows the sensitivity of a product to a change in price of another good. So now if we're going to flip the page here, we're going to talk about income elasticity. So income elasticity measures how a good's quantity demanded responds to a change in consumer income. So about discussing luxury products or inferior goods. So right here I have Gucci, which is obviously a luxury brand, and then we have Walmart, which is a much cheaper option. So now let's look at a real life problem here. Consumer average annual income increases from $40,000 to $50,000. Demand for frozen pizza decreases from 8 to 5. So when income goes up, demand for pizza goes down. So if we do our math here, leads to a negative 46.15% change in quantity, and income is a 22.22% increase. So if we do the math, if we divide these together, we get a negative number, negative 2.08, which leads to an inferior good. Okay? Lastly, we're going to talk about the elasticity of supply, which measures how responsive the quantity supplied of a good is to a change in price. And for two examples so t-shirts are pretty elastic. You can get a t-shirt basically everywhere, any store, any website, you name it. But houses are pretty inelastic. They vary in price, but they're obviously harder to purchase than t-shirts.